We give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashimi, Hawashai, Bashima Kakodash, double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, and Roman teach world. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 plus food. This is Brother Kosh coming at you with a quick lesson in the spirit. I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm just going to read one of these scriptures and I'm going to jump right into my thoughts about the killing of Khamenei of Iran. So this is Joel chapter 3 and 10. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, come, and all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So I wanted to bring that part up because this is telling you where it's at, the location, what's going to happen. All these heathen nations are going to assemble themselves into one particular place, and the Lord's going to wipe them out. That is the gist of the plan right there. But let's go ahead and get into why the United States taking out Khamenei, if I'm saying his name right, Khamenei's whatever, Khamenei, I can't pronounce his name, damn it. Let's see if taking him out this early was a good thing, which me personally, it's a good thing for prophecy, but it's not a good thing for the United States. That was a bad move, actually. After I sat back and analyzed things over the last 2-3 days after Khamenei's death, this wasn't such a good thing for the United States, but a pretty good thing for Bible prophecy. A very good thing for Bible prophecy, because this is going to bring something. And I'm going to explain that. So, what America really was trying to do, but Trump is a bully, so he's kind of hasty with his movements. And then on top of that, he's very proud because Iran has already came out and said that we want to take President Trump out. And the United States claim and Trump's claim is that Iran tried that twice and failed. And so in turn, he tried to go and do it, and he succeeded in a sense. Okay? The problem with that is you're in the very inception of this war, okay? And really how America moves is they move off of regime change. All right, so if you're trying to do a regime change, this is not how you do it. You don't take out the leader that fucking quick, all right? So what is a regime change? So regime change is the replacement of one government or political system with another, often through forceful or cohesive or external means. It involves changing not just a leader, but the fundamental structure of governance, ideology, and bureaucracy. It can occur via domestic revolution or foreign intervention, okay? This could possibly backfire on Trump by taking out the leader of the Iranian people. One thing you have to heavily understand when you're dealing with Iran is the Shia faith or Shia Islam. They're heavily backed by that. It's going all the way back to Muhammad, back in the 600, the 600 ADs, okay, when Islam was technically formed, all right? So you're talking people who are in a deep-rooted faith of Islam, and now you have taken out their top spiritual leader, and that was Khamenei. You took him out, all right? Now, after he took them out, you see, if you go and look on the internet and you scrub anything, you see the streets of Iran going crazy because they didn't like that. Now they're asking for something else. You have just now boosted Islamic faith because now what you have made Khamenei is a martyr. You have made him a martyr of the faith, and that is more so encouraging to anybody else in the Iranian public, okay? In the eyes of the Iranian public, he is a martyr for the faith now. Oh, he died for us. He died for our faith, and da-da-da. We want payback. If you want to do a regime change, you have to make this guy look bad. You bomb. I'm just talking, okay? But you bomb Israel. I mean, not Israel. You bomb Iran. You bomb all these places. You get a lot of casualties storing up. Then you do propaganda and be like, well, hey, you see this dude Khamenei is going from bunker to bunker, and he's doing nothing for your people. And then the people are like, huh, yeah, you're right. We want to change. You're not doing anything for us. Blah 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 blah. And then you start running his name through the mud, and then maybe you take him out. You see what I'm saying? Instead, Trump went ahead and took him out in the very beginning. Now, I'm just going through how this is a bad thing for the United States. I'm going to go through how it's a good thing for Bible prophecy. Because the scriptures say you can do nothing against the truth before it. So, Trump is not realizing the Shia faith. So now what has happened is, since Khamenei has died, Iran has now formed an interim council. So the interim council comprises of 3 people, all right? And pretty much they do that to oversee who's going to be the next person in the transition after Khamenei's killing, okay? Just like what this article is saying right here. So what they do is, if you want to be the next, in a sense, spiritual leader of Iran, there are people already set up, okay? There are candidates already set up. This is not no democracy or anything. They run big off faith, all right? So what happens is, to be a leader of Iran, like Khamenei was, you have to go through a series of process, and it's not just no 5-year process. You just go to college for 4 years, and now you can run to be a Senate, and then Senate go to whatever. You start at a young age, and for 30 or 40 years, you are practicing and understanding the Islamic and the Muslim religion. Okay, this is part of the Shia faith. All right, you're understanding this. You're going and understanding the Quran and things of that nature. You're understanding Muslim law, Islamic law. Simple and plain as that. All right, because when you're appointed, that's it. You're there till death. That's simple. Okay, so now this is kind of like a first for Iran in a sense, because they barely appoint people, because they just let people run their course until the next one comes. In this case, they forcefully have to pick somebody else to run in Khamenei's spot. So now they've created this council. So anywho, you have to go through this process. Once you hit about 30, 40 years of understanding the Quran and understanding the Islamic State, or Islamic law, and the spirit of things, of their things, okay, then what happens is you do something called a fatwa, all right? And what that is pretty much, well, not even a fatwa. So pretty much, let me explain this as simplistically as possible. What happens is you pretty much write an essay on how music, music is similar or something to Islam. You write it, you put it out, you publish it in front of all the other people. What the test is all about, and why you do that, is to see if you can gather a following, and you can get a group of people to follow you, and in a sense be loyal to you. Then you get your donations, because Khamenei, how he sustained his life is by donation. So they give donations. The Iranian people, okay, we read his thing, I like what this guy is about, and then they give donations. And pretty much you pass the test and you get set up and things of that nature. If you fail that test, then the people ain't gonna like you. And your name's run through the mud and all that shit like that. So pretty much Khamenei had to went through that. Now he did write a fatwa back in the 1990s. All right. So let me get what fatwa means. So a fatwa is a religious ruling or opinion issued by an Islamic scholar. So pretty much, yes, it is what I just named, how they go through the process to become the Iranian leader. All right, so it usually is in response to a question posed by the Muslim concerning Islamic law or doctrine, and it is not legally binding. So this is how you get your following. Now, Khamenei's fatwa, when you look it up, I typed in, did Khamenei not like nukes? So the Iran supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was consistently stated that Islam prohibits the possession and the use of nuclear weapons, issuing a fatwa, a religious ruling, against them dating back to the 1990s. So this guy who Trump just took out believed that nukes were a serious threat to humanity. This is how Khamenei thought. This was his thought process. This is the guy who Trump took out. Now, Iran is forming, okay? That's Khamenei, and that's the people mourning him. Now, Iran has formed a counter, and there's words, and there's words coming out that the next person they are choosing is for it, meaning he is for nukes. So if he gets into office, they will be producing nuclear capability. And we all know about Iran's uranium enrichment programs. That's why so many sanctions has been put on Iran to halt their uranium processing. Do you see what's happening? So that's the bad thing for the United States. So what Trump did was, in a sense, in turn, a little too hasty, because now you took out a guy and they're about to put in a guy who is for nuclear destruction. Do you see what I'm saying? How this is good for Bible prophecy now. Iran is big on uranium. Uranium creates nukes. Now you're going to put a guy in the leadership who likes uranium and nukes and hates United States. Therefore, he's going to start producing nuclear warfare or nuclear weapons. When in a sense, Khamenei was against it his entire reign. But you killed him too early. Now the people, as they're mourning here, want payback. And they're going to want to put that guy in office who wants nukes. This is wonderful. This goes back to Joel 3. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And that's exactly what Iran is going to do once this council puts that guy in charge. Okay? He's going to do his fatwa, and more than likely his fatwa is going to end up, encouraging the people to further on in nuclear capabilities for Iran. Iran has great ballistic missile capabilities, but their nuclear capabilities, they're not there, supposedly. I'm not saying they don't have nukes, but they weren't really for it as much as they're going to be now, okay? As they're going to be now. So Trump says Iran's supreme leader is dead, and I think he did that a little bit too early. If you want to, this is what a regime change is. Regime change is a replacement of the government, okay, with another through force or cohesive or external means. It involves changing not just the leader, but the fundamental structure of the governance and ideology and the bureaucracy. It can occur via domestic revolution or foreign intervention. As what we're seeing is kind of like foreign intervention. Regime change in Iran is not going to happen because you took out the leader way too quick. More than likely, regime change is going to happen in the United States because now what Trump is pushing, or what he claimed to be pushing, is that he can do a bloodless war. But now you're getting into an Iran and you're making moves, pretty much you're saying things that your mouth can't cash. There will be American lives lost because now you're poking at the hornet's nest of a superpower. Those bases around the area will be hit. There's already been certain articles that came out that said 200 plus Americans have already died from these base hits from Iran in the region. So now what you're pushing to the people, Donald Trump, is saying that you can do a bloodless war, but you're not. Now you're in the thick of it. And the midterm elections are coming, and everybody's going to see that you did not keep that word, so a regime change is going to happen, possibly. So this is kind of almost like a backfire towards Trump. Like, oh, damn, you said no Americans would die. Now Americans are dying in a war that you said wouldn't be bloody, but it is. You see what I'm saying here? So I had to sit back and just do some analyzing to see what kind of move this was for the United States. And now I'm kind of, speaking as my own person, own man, this is what I'm seeing. This is great for Bible prophecy because this Iranian council is going to put somebody who is for nuclear capability. What Trump did was a little too hasty with killing Khamenei that quickly in the beginning of this altercation between Israel and the United States and Iran. He jumped the gun a little too quick because he's proud and he's a bully. That simple. All right. So that's my take on that. Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem HaKakodash, Double honors to the apostles, elders, the great millstone, and and teach well. Peace of salutation to the elect, 144 first fruit. Till the next time, I want to say shalom, and like always, repent for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believe. All right, shalom.